Hello. We are back. I'm excited for this week. We're back on the stream. Yeah, this week's going to be a little bit different. Unfortunately, due to, I believe, as a symptom of midterm season, as the college student that I am, I was unfortunately unable to get any guests on for the show, but that's okay. I still have some cool stuff planned for today. I will get into that in just a moment. I'll start. Uh, Surprisingly, I had a couple new followers before the stream even started. So, first of all, Unique, thank you for the follow, and I really appreciate you joining us. And also, we have SysCod2. Uh, Forgive me if I mispronounce that, but thank you for joining. Thank you for the follow, and I really appreciate you coming by and joining us. And I'm actually, since I'm actually just gonna replay those just to get that follower goal updated so it's accurate. So yeah, once again, thank you. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking out the stream. It really does mean a lot to me. And there's the other one. Awesome. Perfect. So, yeah, first things first. Anyone that is new to the stream, first of all, my name is Bravin, or also I go by the Chronicler, as I like to call myself. Kind of a pompous name, but it's what I am. And basically what this channel is all about is I have this mantra when it comes to D&D, and that idea is learning by doing. So basically, I think that let's say, for example, here I have the player's handbook, the core handbook thing. Oh, it's backwards for you, but I promise you it says player's handbook. Anyway, this is the core book, has all of the basic rules and things like that. Basically, the only essential thing you need to play D&D, if even that much. But anyway, it's a big book. It's like almost 300 pages. That's like boring. We don't play D&D just to like read a 300-page rule book because that's not interesting whatsoever. So yeah, so why not just like get into it, jump right into it, and learn as you go? And that's kind of what this channel is all about, just like jumping into it. I design one-shots and other things, and bring players on to teach them some of the basic concepts of Dungeons and Dragons, so that I can teach them and ultimately teach you as well while you're watching some of the basics, but also just generally have a fun time, spin a good story, have some fun characters, a good narrative, all that good stuff. Maybe a moral dilemma here or there if you're on for the stream 2 weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, basically for today, since it's just going to be me, what I've decided to do is I decided that I may be a dungeon master, and most of the time NPCs you're going more into story and like basic backgrounds, but I want to create some characters because honestly I have very rarely actually gotten to be a player in a campaign. I've mostly been a dungeon master, which I'm sure a lot of dungeon masters can relate to, unfortunately, because not a lot of people want to take that role, but that's okay. Um, I can do what I want here, and I'm going to create some characters just for fun. And yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. So let me adjust. Let's see. This shows up right. Hey, and here we have it. Our character sheet. I can make that a bit bigger just to make sure everyone can see that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna like jump right into it. Get into this character sheet right here, and although I will have the rulebook with me because although I'm not going to be reading it cover from cover, it is good for reference, especially for character making. So definitely don't want to go against my own word though, and start reading from it. That is absolutely not something that I wish to do. But yeah, I just honestly kind of wanted to have some fun making a character, doing this a little bit for myself. But hopefully, if you've never made a character before, you can learn a thing or two. And of course, like, I'll be watching chat, so if you like, if there's any kind of character you'd like to see, let me know, and I'd be happy to try to, whip something up. Yeah. So I'm gonna start. So there's a few places you can start with a character. If you don't really know what you want, you can start just by picking a class, basically like the fighting style of your character. Or if you have sort of like a personality or character that you want to start with, you can start from there and then figure out the class and such from there. But I'm gonna start with a class because I really want to make a sorcerer. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm going to start with that, and we'll just kind of figure it out for there because I want to play a sorcerer. Magic is cool to me. I know it's not necessarily for everybody, but that's just what is interesting me right now. Um, so, oh yeah, and one last thing before we get started. I don't want to forget this, absolutely not. There's a little bit of a shout out that I would like to do before we get started from my friend Unique, who is in the chat right now. She has a message for her fiance, Stuart, that I'm going to read off right here. And she says, "Thank you for supporting my friends by my side. I love you," from Unique, which I think is just adorable. Um, so that little friendly message from my friend right there. And Stuart, if you're in the chat, feel free to say hello. So, first things first, I'm going to find the sorcerer page in this book. So give me just a moment. Because of course I'm not prepared enough to have bookmarked stuff in advance, because why would I? Sorcerer is on a solid, cool page 99. I have that ready. Next thing, so actually I guess I can go ahead and put in. So we're gonna start with a, can't even spell, Sorcerer, level 1. Because why would we start anywhere else? Even if you want to make a higher level character, I always recommend, hello, thanks for joining. I always recommend starting with a level 1 character and working your way up, just because it's a lot easier to make your character if you start for level 1. Yeah, hello, Syscod2, am I saying that right? But I do, I appreciate the follow, and I really appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot. Yeah, we're gonna go with a sorcerer. I'm not one to min-max, so I create characters. If I'm gonna make a character, I want to make a character that's fun, not necessarily the best character. Not that there's anything wrong with that, in fact. I actually have some stuff planned that'll take advantage of that idea of min-maxing, I think, with a bit of a competitive edge to D&D, which is a different side that I feel like doesn't necessarily always get enough attention. Regardless, of course, we need more than just our class. We need our race. So what race is our character? And I'm just going to be picking out of the standard player's handbook, so no like homebrew or extension races for this, at least. Trying to keep things simple. Don't think I'm going to go with an elf. Halfling, I don't know. Human, it just doesn't feel like... Does anyone ever pick a human? Dragonborn would make a lot of sense. Be a gnome, half elf, half orc, maybe not a half. I always lean towards tieflings. I know it's like kind of like, oh, you know, it's the edgy like tiefling half demon race class, but I like tieflings. They're cool. They are cool. I might actually go for that. You know what? Why not? Let's start with a tiefling. Just had the page for that. Literally just me flipping through the pages right now. Tieflings are fun. If you don't know what a tiefling is, they are basically, oh, you know, just let me read out of the book. No, of course I'm not going to read out of the book. And I'm not going to drop everything that's on my desk either, because that would be really dumb and embarrassing to do on stream. So I'm not going to do that. Tieflings! They're cool. They're basically like, definitely not lizard people. That is not an appropriate way to describe them. Just think, well here, actually, no, here's a picture. No words, just a picture. There's a picture of a tiefling. Look, they have horns. They can be different colors. They have a tail. They are often shunned upon in traditional D&D society, but in a homebrew world, you can do whatever the heck you want with them. Yeah, kind of like half demons. Your origin for them can depend, but they're a cool race. So, man, look at that progress that we've made. We filled out 2 whole spots in the header of our character sheet, and that's it. Very next thing that's important is background. So let's see. Backgrounds are on page 121. I'm just gonna get over there real quick. Flip, flip, flip. For a sorcerer, I'm probably going to go with not acolyte, not criminal. Where is it? I know it's here. A hermit would not be bad. But I think an outlander. How does it sound? Someone that, you know, because so sorcerers basically they're sorcerers are the one of the classes they're always the adventuring type. You know, you're not gonna see very many sorcerers in like a military scenario or something like that. Just because they're sort of like free spirited. They got their magic through some like like through some kind of supernatural event, or maybe through like a curse or blessing. If you're like that optimistic when you play D&D, which who's that optimistic to have a blessing throughout their bloodline? But of course, like you had like a great grandfather or grandmother that was eternally cursed, but also gave you incredible magic power. Um, so yeah, maybe an outcast or outlander, as they like to call it here. So we will go with that. So, oh, outlander. Yeah, this is my name. I spelled it right. All right. 0 experience points and alignment. All right, this is a very personal preference when it comes to me, but I don't really care about alignment. I don't think it's important. No, it's controversial. I know it's kind of a hot take. We're just gonna skip over it for now. It doesn't matter. If you're new, don't worry about it. It literally doesn't matter. Name we'll get back to. I'll name this character later. So yeah, let's start with our stats. So the first thing you probably want to start with are your 6 main stats. And we are going to roll for these because standard array is boring. And who doesn't want to roll for this? And I'm just making these characters for fun anyway, so who cares? I need more dice. I think there might be enough dice here in this dice bag I have. Get some D6s. Classy D6s. I feel like a goblin digging through my dice bag for little plastic math rocks. Here we go. So I have not dropped anything, and I have in my hands right here 4 D6s, which is just, you know, a regular 6-sided die, but 4 of them, of course. This one is metal because it's my favorite, but the other one are pretty cool too. Alright, so rolling 4 stats. Pretty easy. You take 4 D6s, and I need something to write with. I have an index card here. Perfect. 4 D6s, and I'm just gonna roll them. See what happens. What is death space? What is death space? What even is death space? You can't even see that, but... Alright, let's see. So I got a 4, a 3, a 3, and a 1. Which dice? These dice. Right here. See, in this tray, I got 4 of them. I mean, I have a lot of dice. I mean, this right here is full of dice. You want to see? There's a different pot. Well, I guess you can't really see. You end up spilling them all. There's like 17 or 18 sets of dice in here, all different colors. You know, I'll just pull some out. Look, here's some dice. There's dice. They have different sides, different numbers of sides. For example, this one right here has 10 sides, but it's a D100 because it has like a 50. That is that a 50? I don't. It's hard to see in the camera. It won't focus when it's that close. I also have. Oh look, there's a 4-sided die. This one's green. These dice are nice. This was my first set of dice right here. This one has 20 sides. Am I a fool for trying to do this at the same time? Is there specific dice I should be rolling? No, you're absolutely not. I mean, if you want to make a character with me, go for it. If you don't have any dice, you can just use like a random number generator online. So like, if you just like go to random number generator and generate like, so like right now I'm just rolling a d6, which is like a regular 6-sided die, like you would use in like Yahtzee. So like, if you don't have dice on you, which if you know haven't played D&D before, you might not have like a giant bag of dice. You can just like go to a random number generator and generate like a number between 1 and 6. and that's pretty much the same thing. Or there are even like websites that specialize in rolling dice for D&D. So yeah. Anyway, so like I said before, I rolled a 4, a 3, a 3, and a 1. So it's that those are okay numbers. Basically what you'll do is you will take the 3 highest, so I cut the 1 out, and I'll take the 4, the 3, and the 3 and add them together. So that will give me 11. Alright, and then you just like write that down somewhere. And then you do it 5 more times. So if you like rolling dice, this is the way to go. Alright, ooh. 4, 3, 1, and 1. Not great. So that'll give me 4, 3, and 1, which is 8. Let's see. I got, there's my first 5, 3, 3, and 1. So that'll give me another 11. For 5, 3, and 3, yeah, that's 11. 5, 5, 2, and 1. So there's a 12, 5, 5, and 2. I'm getting pretty, like, medium numbers. Medium being, like, 10, generally speaking, for D&D stats. But I'll get into that more after I'm done rolling. 6, 5, 3, and 6. Ooh. I got a 17. 6 and 6 is 12, plus 5 is 17. That's a good roll. Alright. And last one, 4, 4, 4, and 2. So 4 and 4 and 4 is 12. Not bad. Those are pretty good overall, and not too overpowered either. Not really bad. I have like my one weak number, but okay. So basically, I have 6 stats over here on the left side of my character sheet, and I have 6 numbers that I generated from rolling. It's backwards and not focused. I don't even know why I'm trying to show it in the camera. It's not helpful whatsoever to anybody. No one appreciates that. But anyway, the point that I'm getting to, of course, is that one of these numbers will go in each of these 6 stats. And the cool thing is you get to pick where you put each of those numbers. So this will usually depend on your class. Now, in this case, I am playing a sorcerer, and sorcerers need to focus primarily on their first stat. They need to focus charisma, and this is because charisma. So my highest number I rolled is 17, so I'm going to put that in there. And the reason for that is because basically charisma is the most important stat for a sorcerer. It's what they use whenever they're like casting spells, and then of course there's the added bonus of like charisma helps you, with like the sweet talking, with persuasion, with intimidation, things like that. There are certain skills which we'll get into a little bit later, but for now we'll just worry about these stats. But basically, where these numbers are really important is they give you modifiers, which is a very fun thing. They're basically just numbers, so I hope you like numbers. But essentially, you get a modifier from each stat depending on how much higher or lower your stat is from the number 10. And basically, you get 1 point for every 2 that you have higher or lower from the number 10, with 10 being a 0. And you always round down. So like a 10 would be a modifier of 0, an 11 would be a modifier of 0, 12 is 2 higher than 10, so you get a modifier of 1. Now a 17, it's an odd number, so we can slice off that top odd number because it doesn't do anything, which leaves us with 16, which is 6 higher than 10. Divide that by 2 and you're left with 3, so our modifier is plus 3. Basically that. And whenever, basically what this means is whenever I roll for anything that requires the charisma skill, I roll my die, and then I can add 3 to it. So it's pretty nice because it means that if I roll, say if I roll like low, if I only roll a 7, I add my plus 3 modifier to it, and that ends up being a 10 instead. So very, very, very nice and very useful. The second stat I think I'm going to go into is maybe Constitution, because that seems like it would be pretty good. I'm between Constitution and Dexterity because so Constitution has to do with like for one, it affects your health points, obviously very important. Dexterity helps with like anything that's range attack, like using a bow or like throwing things, anything like that would be Dexterity. Also like some kind of movement things. So I'm debating whether to go into Constitution or Dexterity, but I think I'll stick with Constitution. Get that help. Well, actually, my next highest number is 12, and then I have another 12, so we'll just put 12 in each. Debating something, it doesn't even matter. So +1 and +1 for Constitution. That leaves us with 11, 11, and 8. So let's see. Do I want my character to be weak, dumb, or dumb? The choices. The choices. I don't imagine as a sorcerer I'll be relying on strength very often. So there's that. Wisdom, I'll probably go into because wisdom has perception checks that are very, very useful. But of course, I'm gonna get a 0 modifier. You know, let's be weak. Why not? I have like this character is gonna have great power. So strength, I'm gonna have a -1 modifier because it's 2 less than 10, but that is okay. That's fine. All good. Yeah, so let's get back into where's the sorcerer page? This is it, isn't it? Here we are. Right, sorcerer. So, and this is just stuff you have to get out of the book. But for a sorcerer, so I'm looking at saving throws right here. Constitution and Charisma, cool, are gonna be my saving throws. See, proficiency bonus right here. For any level 1 character, it's gonna be +2. No matter what class you're playing, it'll be the same. But basically, it's always gonna start as +2 and then work its way up as you level up. Inspiration, something you don't need to worry about while you're making a character. That doesn't even matter. So let's see. Hit points. Let's do health. Why not? That's a pretty basic, simple thing. Wait, what does this mean? What does what mean? Am I going through things too fast? Oh, if you're talking about the saving throws, then I don't know. Don't worry about that. Saving throws? How do I explain that? Let me see. I'm actually gonna let the internet explaining it. Okay, yeah. So they're basically, okay. So saving throws, they depend on your class. Auditory stimuli. Hey Noah, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot to me. So yeah, anyway, saving throws, they are based on your class, so depending on like what kind of class you're playing. So for a sorcerer, it's charisma and constitution, and I literally just like got that out of the book because it's what it says. Basically, it means that those are important stats for you to focus on. Nothing but respect for my dungeon master. It means a lot to me. Saving throws basically just mean they're important because they're modifiers you'll be using a lot for, especially in like combat, because it's basically where like your skill set within this class focuses. I appreciate the love. It means a lot. So yeah. Um. Anyway, hit points, HP, how much health you have. Pretty straightforward, pretty basic, easy to understand. So basically, if you look in the book at the class, you'll see that there'll be a line, there'll be a little section for hit points, and there'll be a part where it says hit points at higher levels. And for me, it says 1d6 and then it has in parentheses, but the part in parentheses doesn't matter. So 1d6 plus your Constitution modifier per sorcerer level after the first. So that's what happens when you level up. But basically, what you can take from that is that you'll start off with the maximum that you can roll. So basically, start off with 6 health plus my Constitution modifier. So pretty simple. So my Constitution modifier is +1, so 6 plus 1 is 7. So definitely not a lot. Definitely not. Initiative. Initiative is something that is based off of dexterity, I believe. Is initiative dexterity? I feel dumb. Is it dexterity? Yeah, dexterity. Okay. Anyway, dexterity is +1, initiative +1. Initiative is basically whenever you enter combat, you will roll initiative, which is, you know, a fun thing to say. So whenever I know my characters are getting into a fight, I say roll for initiative, and they know that they're getting into it. Basically, you'll roll initiative, add your initiative modifier to it, and it essentially determines the order that you take turns versus like between like the players and whoever you're fighting or whatever you're fighting. So yeah, it's basically just like a number, and then you go from highest to lowest. Pretty simple. Speed, I'll get into. Well, I think that's a race thing, I believe. So worry about that later. Temporary hit points, that's not something you get from the start. Death saves, definitely want 3 failures off the bat, because this character is already dead, never gonna live in the first place. Hit die! This is something you just get straight out of the book, and it is 1d6. Basically, 1 normal, regular die. Yeah, that's it. Alright, let's do some skills now. So skills are fun. These are skills right here. So skills are something that you can have proficiency in, which you can, like, these little dots right here, you can mark proficiency. And I'm going to see, so proficiency is, I get to choose 2 from Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion. So out of those that the book lists, I get to pick 2 for being a sorcerer. I think Arcana might be important because it's magic. It is based on intelligence, though, as you can see right here. So when my intelligence is not great, it's definitely just average. Deception could definitely be helpful if I want to make a character that is a good liar. And Deception is also based on Charisma, which is my best stat. So it'd be nice to get another bonus to that and be just an excellent liar. Be able to lie just through my teeth to anyone's face anytime that I want to. Pretty fantastic skill to have, especially in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Insights. I mean, what is insight? Who knows? I don't have enough insight to know. Doesn't seem like it's very useful. Everyone just uses perception checks. We're not going to go with insight. Intimidation. Definitely cool. Could be useful. Also a charisma skill, so I already have good intimidation. Persuasion, also obviously a charisma skill. And then finally religion. I don't think religion's something I'm going to go with because I'm not a paladin, and so I don't have like a god or a patron or something like that I worship. It's not necessarily that I don't, but it's not the core, the crux of my character. So I think we're gonna go with, I'll start with Arcana because it's not something I already have the bonus for. So that'll be nice to have. And then I'll pick, so basically Deception, Intimidation, or Persuasion. One of the charismatic ones. Basically gonna be a real charismatic character. Fun. So do I want to lie? Do I just want to be like mean and have people be afraid of me? Or just be a smooth talker? And honestly, I think, I don't know, because lying is like, I'm not a rogue, you know? I'm not a thief, necessarily. Even if I'm not necessarily good, you don't have to be a thief. So I don't think I'm going to go with that. Intimidation is a little bit brutish and not as fun. So I think I'm going to go with Persuasion. It's a little bit classic of like the charismatic classic skill, but whatever. It seems like being a smooth talker might be more fun and interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll worry about. Well, actually, I guess I can go and fill these out. So all these skills, it might be hard to see, but they have like little in parentheses what stat they're attached to. On this line, you can just put what their modifier is. My dex is +1. My wisdom 0. Great. My intelligence modifier is 0. My strength modifier -1. Perception, charisma is +3. Intelligence. Oh wait, Arcana. I messed it up. I have proficiency in Arcana, and my proficiency bonus right here is +2. So intelligence is 0, and proficiency is +2. And then you get +2 because 2 + 0 is 2. That's what these little dots do. So when you have proficiency, you get that, and then you get to add this bonus up here to whatever you have proficiency in, which is super nice. Wisdom 0, charisma +3, intelligence is 0, and not necessarily, but also not dumb. Not really dumb either. Need that charisma, and then persuasion is going to be a nice +5, which is super nice because I have the +3 from charisma and then a +2 for the super nice. Religion we didn't care about. My dexterity is +1, so I have a +1 to sleight of hand, as well as a +1 to stealth. And then my wisdom is 0, so 0 modifier for survival. So yeah, I guess the next thing I want to do is let's just see like what kind of stuff I'm starting off with. So whenever you look at your class, you'll see there's a section called equipment. It basically just talks about some of the gear you get to start. So we are going to go to equipment, which is right here, and let's see. So I get a light crossbow with 20 bolts or any simple weapon. Now, ranged weapons use dexterity, while simple weapons use strength, so I'm probably going to go with the crossbow since my dexterity is better, and also as a squishy 7 HP sorcerer, probably not going to be getting up close enough to do melee attack. So I think I'm going to take that crossbow. So it is a light crossbow. And then we have 20 bolts. I actually think there's somewhere... No, this character sheet doesn't seem like it has somewhere to keep track of ammunition specifically, so we'll just keep it like that. I also get a component pouch or an arcane focus. Basically, something that I use to cast spells. Some spellcasters use a component pouch, which is basically a pouch full of ingredients that they expend to cast spells, just like from their hands. Or you can have like a wand or a staff or something like that. That is your arcane focus that you use instead to cast your spell. And I think the focus is much more interesting. So I'm just going to start with a basic wooden staff. That's my arcane focus. And then I get a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack. And it doesn't specify what those are, but I can go into the handbook. And there's a specific place. I actually forgot where this is. I used to remember. Equipment. Packs. 143, I think. Let's see. Here we go. So, what was it again? Dungeoneers or Explorers. Let's see. Dungeoneers comes with a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pittons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations, and a water skin, as well as 50 feet of hempen rope. Definitely useful. The rope is definitely the best thing in there. And the other option was the Explorer's Pack, which comes with a backpack, a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a water skin, and 50 feet of rope. So pretty similar. The Dungeoneer's Pack comes with a crowbar and a hammer, which can definitely be useful. As well as pittons, which, if you don't know, are basically just like something you can hammer into like a wall. It helps with climbing. They're good for climbing. They both come with a water skin. They both come with 10 days rations. Both come with rope. Explorer's Pack comes with a bedroll. and a mess kit and a tinderbox. Doesn't sound super useful, so I think I'm gonna go Dungeoneers. So yeah. I'm not gonna list out everything here, so we're just gonna do Dungeoneers pack. And if I ever actually end up using this character, then I'll go back and list out all those different items that it actually comes with. Don't worry. Once I get through like this stuff and we get to the fun stuff down here where I actually get to describe what this character's like, it'll be much more interesting, I promise. And lastly, I have 2 daggers. Because sometimes you just need to stab someone. So, 2 daggers. I think I get some starting gold, but I'll find that later. We'll come back to that. Okay, so let's go to... Hold on. I'm reading. I know I shouldn't be reading, but I'm reading. Spells. We can get back to spells. Spells are complicated, and that's its own beast to handle. So we'll get back to that for sure. Let's go back to our race. So as a tiefling, basically whatever race you choose, you get certain characteristics, certain advantages and disadvantages, stats, skills, things like that. So as a tiefling, so I get increases to my stats, to some of my stats. So my intelligence, for example, goes up by 1, which is nice, to a solid 12, which I realize now I'm going to have to change all of these, but increases this to a +1, and my charisma increases by 2, which is very nice. I didn't even realize that, which brings this up to a +4, 18, 8 higher than 4, or 10, divided by 2, plus quick mass. Amazing. Fantastic stuff. Age. Was there a section for age up here? It's down here. So age. So age tends to be different. Different races live different spectrums. For example, humans live, I mean, as much as humans do, like here in reality. According to the book, tieflings live only slightly longer than humans, so not really that different. But there are some races like elves which can live to be like hundreds of years old, much older, and it basically differs for each race. Some of them are more short-lived, some of them live much longer. Basically just depends. But since I am a tiefling, and tieflings age at about the same rate as humans, or mature at the same rate, we'll just go with something like, let's do like a 20, let's do 24. Like a good number. Alignment, I already said alignment's dumb, we're not doing that. Size, my size, is that even on here? It doesn't matter, okay. Speed, there's speed. Get back up here, my speed is 30. Which means in one turn I can move 30 feet. Pretty simple, pretty basic stuff. Alright, now we get into some skills. Dark Vision. Dark Vision is something that a few different races get, which is helpful. So I will put this features and traits. I'll put this here. Dark Vision, basically just the ability to be able to see in low light conditions, better than normal. Pretty simple. Yeah. Hellish Resistance, that is useful. You have resistance to fire damage as a tiefling. Have that that demon blood in you, so that's nice. All right. Infernal Legacy. So you know the Thaumaturgy cantrip. That is in spellcasting, and I will go ahead and drop this down here. Spell that Thaumaturgy. I'll get back to what that is later. We're gonna get to spells and do that all as its own thing. Languages. So languages are cool. Basically, there are different languages in the world for different races and like monsters or different things. So there's 2 languages that, as a tiefling, I will know. I will know Common, which is basically the language that any character really will know for the most part. And then I also know Infernal. It's a fun language. You know, pretty sure it's the language that demons use. So, I can talk to demons, basically. Next page. Oh, there is nothing else on the next page. Okay, so that's pretty much it for tieflings at the first level. There's some more bonuses that I get later on, but that's not really important. Because we're just level 1 right now. Yeah, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump around again. Because I need to go back to my background, which I chose Outlander. Because this also gives you bonuses and skills and stuff like that. Outlander. So I get skill proficiencies. I get proficiencies in athletics and survival. Right? Athletics, survival. Those aren't bad picks at all. Definitely some stuff I have some weaknesses. Definitely helpful. I appreciate that. I get proficiency in a musical instrument. Ooh. Ooh. That is nice. What kind of musical instrument? We'll come back to that. That's good. That's good. Languages, I get to pick a language of my choice to be able to speak. Probably want to go with something that'll be useful, like Elvish or Dwarvish are definitely two languages that could definitely be useful. Those are pretty commonly used ones. I believe there's an Orcish language as well. Let me see if I can find a page in the book. Table of contents, please. Here we are. Alright, let's see. Languages. Gonna have to go to the index for this one. Oh boy. Gonna be like that. This is what happens when you don't have stuff marked in advance. Those are gods. Those are planes of existence. Those are monsters. Hold on. Almost there. Not there yet. Alright. Where does L come in the alphabet again? And then... Oh. No. L. Found it. Right here, of course. Let's see. 123 to 125. Is that it? Here we go. Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, Halfling, Orc, or there's some exotic languages. Abyssal, Celestial, Deep Speech, Draconic, Infernal, Primordial, Sylvian, and Undercommon. I think Draconic might be nice. It'd be cool to be able to talk to dragons. Yeah, Infernal is devils, demons, stuff like that. Sylvian would be fey creature. That could definitely be. I think I might go with that. That'd be cool. I know it's one of the exotic ones. But why not? Let's talk to fays. Sylvan. Awesome. Alright. I get a staff. I don't need another staff. So I'm not going to put that. I get a hunting trap. That's cool. I get a trophy from an animal I killed. Let's see. What would be a cool animal? I'm not sure where this character is going to be. Just assume somewhere in the woods. So I'm not really sure where that would put me, because that would be up to whoever this fictional dungeon master this character is going to bring in. Boar? Alright, I can go with the boar. We'll go with, I'll just take the tusks. Why not? That'll be my trophy. Seems like the appropriate thing to take from a boar. And let's see, I get clothing. I don't think that's necessarily to mention. I think it's safe to assume that I'm not going to be naked. I get a pouch containing 10 gold pieces. It's nice. I have money. That's always good to have. Let's see. And then there's characteristics, but honestly, I'll worry about that. I'll make my own characteristic. Musical instrument. So, I'll go down here. Proficiencies. Me trying to spell. And I want to know how to play. They're cool looking. Yeah, boar are pretty cool looking. I'm sure that my unnamed character here will be very happy to have some boar tusks in his pockets. I'm sure those will come very much in handy. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Maybe. Maybe. Instrument. Should I just go with the... You know what, let's use the lute. I almost feel like a bard, but not really. I can't use music for magic, which is cool. But I can play the lute anyway. So, there is that. Yep, so I realized I missed efficiencies on my class. Alright, sorcerer, come back over here. Proficiencies. Where are they? Proficiencies. Alright, so I'm gonna move the loot down. So I have proficiencies with daggers, darts, slings, quarter staffs, and light crossbows. Nice. Just some basic weapons if I ever run out of spell casting, I guess. Yeah. Let's see, what is next? Features and traits, I guess I've already gone through those. Yeah, let's go, height. Tieflings are typically, I believe, a little bit shorter than humans. So probably isn't going to be tall. I guess this says they're about the same size as. But I like to think they're a little bit short. I don't know why. But probably going to go with a male tiefling, just because that's kind of how I imagine him to be anyway. We'll say he's 5'6". Sure. Wait, it doesn't really matter how much he weighs. This is probably never gonna matter. What's a good weight for 5'6"? How about 130 pounds? Is that too light? I have no idea. Eyes! Let's see, so tieflings can, well, their eyes are solid colors. Black, red, white, silver, or gold. With no visible pupil. Interesting. I think let's go silver. Silver sounds fun. Red is like... I mean, tieflings, like, the thing about tieflings is, like, people always assume they're evil just because they're tieflings. It's kind of racist. That's just not cool, but... Okay. Go silver. Silver won't be as bad as red. At least, like, they don't have the evil-looking red eyes. Skin colors. Their skin tones cover the full range of human coloration, but also include various tones. And honestly, I gotta go with red, just because it's different. So we're just gonna be red. Hair! Let's see. Usually dark from black to brown to dark red, blue, or purple. I cannot turn down purple hair. That sounds amazing. So I have purple hair. Let's see. Honestly, I think what better time now than to figure out what I'm gonna call this character. So let's go to Fantasy Name Generator, of course, my very most favorite place on all of the internet. And we are going to come up with a name for this tiefling sorcerer. I think D&D, 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 D&D. Tiefling! Alright, let's see. So tieflings have two different types of names. Generate me a name? I can generate as many names as you want me to. I can generate names for days. This website is incredible. I mean, look, there's like, how many generators do you need? You want, how about a Naga name? Bosha. There you go. How about, potion description? There's your recipe. You want, a name for your hotel? Well, Daydream Motel. Or you can call it Queen's Cove. Anyway, let's go back to Tieflings. It's a fun website to mess around with. Yeah, so Tieflings, so Tieflings will either take infernal names, which just comes from like their native language, basically sort of similar to like a name that demons have, which isn't great for their reputation. But they can also have virtue names, basically where they will name themselves after some virtue that they want to have, basically trying to find their place in the world by embodying like that concept, and sort of like fitting that, which I think is a lot of cool. Virtue names are really cool, and you can see there's like sorrow is one in here, euphoria, internal. So we can get some other ones. Reverence, random, joy, terror, end. I don't know what end would mean for that tiefling. Quest, yeah. Rare, pleasure, recovery. Like how all the, oh, I guess the last three are always the virtue names on this generator, huh? Bloom, delight, truth. So I guess I kind of have to think about. So for most characters, the name, or for a lot of like characters, the name isn't as significant. But for a tiefling, you kind of have to think about, if you want a virtue name, you have to think about like, what do you want this character to be? Who do you want them to be? And what kind of person do you want them to be? What is their goal in life? Especially if you're going to pick a virtue name. Because even if you're not picking a virtue name, even if you're picking an infernal name, you're basically deciding that they aren't going to go down this route of renaming themselves with a virtue name in order to sort of like try to go down a different path. And actually, I'm getting an idea for this character now. I'm thinking for the sorcerer's power, the power they got from their bloodline, right? So basically, they inherited it from their bloodline, but they came from a family of tieflings that were actually evil, and they had infernal names. So my character was born with an infernal name, however, decided to shed that and leave and abandon their family to try and basically be a better person, be like a better adventurer, go out there and try to meet certain virtues, which I think sounds like an interesting character. Probably not super original for a tiefling, like based on that, but I can flesh it out more. So I guess actually I get to pick two names. So I kind of have to think what. Ooh, mantra. Mantra is kind of a cool name. Expert, timeless, adventure, compassion. Whoa. I wonder, because there's always like the sad ones too, where they just like, my entire life is woe, my entire life is sorrow, my life is weary. Um, promise, hunt, happiness, awe, exciting, closed, normal. I am not naming my tiefling normal. Torment. It seems like there is another path I could take with this. If I kept the same story of leaving the family, or maybe I twist it where instead disowned. Could be interesting. Then I name him Torment. And his name is Torment. because he's tormented by his past. And I guess we'll pick. Let's get a infernal name too. I know I'm spending way too much time on this. I'm super picky with names. Uh, Amorous? That's not bad. Ericus? I kind of like Ericus. I'm gonna go with Ericus. Cool. Torment them. So these 4 boxes right here are important because basically these are sort of to help you start off to flesh out your character. So personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. Flaws especially I think is one of the most important ones because you never want to have like your character should always have some kind of flaw just so that way they're not like this like perfect person that's like ideal. So it just makes it like more realistic and more believable, more real for the world. And it's fun to act out and not be perfect all the time. So personality traits. So basically, they were disowned by their family for some reason. In this case, let's say since they're born into a family of sorcerers who have a powerfully magical bloodline or whatever, then let's just say that they were disowned and kicked out simply because they weren't strong enough or they weren't powerful enough. They weren't able to develop their skills to a level that is. I don't know why I keep saying they. I have a name for them now. His name is Torment. Torment, or what he was called then, Icarus, wasn't strong enough and wasn't able to meet his parents' expectations, and eventually, after losing a tragic duel with an older sibling, he was disowned by his family and kicked out of the household and left to wander the world unfamiliar with the world, betrayed, and very, very much alone. Tormented by his past and his history. And that's the character. So, personality traits. I just said like all that cool stuff, and I can't even think of something to put in this section. I guess like so basically, what would a kind of person that went through that stuff be like? Probably cautious. Unfamiliar with the world. So basically, they were isolated within their family. Grew up in sort of the same place, never really traveled. Maybe like think of it as like so they're powerful tieflings, but they kind of live in the shadows. And they use their power to help conceal themselves and help basically keep themselves safe, but they do that at whatever cost to like anyone else they happen to come across. So that means that if they come across, like a random traveler and they think they might cause some trouble for them, just completely incinerating them, they have no doing that whatsoever. But Icarus here decided that he wasn't okay with that. Or well, actually, I guess he didn't really decide. He just got kicked out. He was banished. He was disowned. So, haven't really decided. I guess, maybe he's sort of once he's kicked out and spends some time alone, sort of starts to realize the error of his family's ways. Sort of getting this idea that maybe it's not okay just to kill someone just because for your own benefit, and there's like other ways to work things out without straight up murdering somebody, which could lead to something more interesting and make my character less, evil and murderous, which I don't really want my character to be like a murder hobo, because that's no fun for anyone involved. So yeah. So maybe at first cautious, but also more trusting of strangers just because he doesn't have anyone else to turn to. And of course that would make him lonely. Let's say maybe would trust someone new. Maybe I can add to the backstory and have him meet someone. And then something, tragic happened to them. Because no one's allowed to be happy in Dungeons and Dragons. So, you know, they meet someone cool, end up becoming fantastic friends, and then they die in a horrible accident. Sounds about the right way. So ideals. So what is important to them? Well, they don't have family anymore, and they've sort of learned to be on their own. They felt betrayed many times, in their lives, um, and maybe actually, no, I'm gonna say mistrusting. Um, I'll come back to ideals. Flaws. I'm just gonna say like often assumes the worst. Um, and underestimates his own power. So even though he was kicked out for being, you know, too weak or, you know, whatever his parents thought of him, actually the reality is not that he didn't have, you know, he still had the innate ability to be a sorcerer, which comes with a lot of power in itself, but maybe the type of training they gave him just wasn't appropriate and didn't allow him to develop in the proper ways with the kind of person that he was. So the problem isn't actually that he's not as strong, but just that he, you know, wasn't given the right opportunity, the right environment to develop his power. I think I'm starting to come with a pretty good idea what I want this character to be. Let me take this and copy it to the second page right here. We also have sort of a visual. Character appearance, I can't draw. I'm not even going to try to draw. Allies and organizations. So let's come up with another character. So probably not a tiefling. Let's see. Sort of like a side character. Someone else to throw into the back. I also think it would be cool to have like a family name for the tieflings. But I don't know if tieflings do family. I don't think they do. Doesn't seem like they do. Alright, I won't worry about a family name. Let's name a... How about another outcast? Like someone else would be an outcast. I think that would make a really good idea. Let's do a half orc. Hold on. Heads male, tails female. Tails. Okay. Huh. These names seem very similar. Shimmer, Ariri. I don't like that. Peruzar, Gururuk. You have to like say them out loud to really get a feel for them, right? So deep, OMG. Thank you, thank you. It's fun. I mean, it's fun to sort of spin these narratives with the characters, especially for your own character. You gotta have those deep backstories. I mean, well, you don't have to. It's not for everybody, but it's fun to do that. I think. If I didn't enjoy spinning a story like that, then I wouldn't be a dungeon master. Let's see. The Murmur, Zenazora. That's not a bad name. Let's do Zenazora. Kind of like that. So, where was I putting this? Oh yeah, allies. So Zenazora. So this is Zenazora, the first friend that Torment made after his banishment. Unfortunately, Zenazora died in a tragic accident. Uh, Zenazora was killed when Torment accidentally when Torment underestimated his own power and killed her with one of his spells. Isn't that just tragic? You kill your own friend just because you don't know your own power? I'm probably cut it. Please? Okay. Alright. First friend Torment made after his banishment. Unfortunately, Torment underestimated his own power and accidentally. Want to make it clear that it was an accident. Yeah, other than that, Torment's pretty much alone. So let's go into backstory. So we'll start from the very beginning. So Torment originally named Ericus. Did I spell that right? Yeah. Torment, originally named Ericus, was born into a family of isolated tieflings that had a powerful sorceress. Is that spelled right? Is there spell check on this? There isn't spell check on this. Sorceress. I think that's right. Bloodline. His family would use their powers to conceal? Oh no, I can't spell. Conceal. Conceal. It's an A. Their presence in the world, even if it was at the expense of others' lives. Ericus ended up being banished and disowned by his family after an embarrassing loss in a duel with his let's just do younger brother to add to the embarrassment. And then we need a name for that. Let's get a tiefling name. Shamus? Morris. Morris. I kind of like Morris. Oh. Morris! Please. Doing? Happening. Okay. Why does it do that? Jesus. Okay. I guess for some reason I can't be that zoomed in. Yeah, after his banishment, Ericus, why does it This is really frustrating. Is there a way that I can get it to not do that? Every time I type, it like moves my screen up to the top of the box. I think that's just something in two. I'm just gonna zoom out. I know it'll be smaller, but this is the only way that it'll let me type in this box. I'll zoom back in when I'm done with it, and then I can go over it again from start to finish. Ericus was lost and alone in an unfamiliar world. Using magic, he was able to scrape by hunting wild animals in the woods. One day, he met a friendly half-orc. I guess I never mentioned up here that she was a half-orc. Let's say Zena Zora is a half-orc, and the first friend. There we go. Okay. One day he met a friendly half-orc. Let's cut out friendly. That's not necessary, I don't think. It'll be clear that she's friendly when they become friends, since that is the epitome of friendliness, being friends. Zenazura. Zura. Tango! Welcome to the stream! Best part of the game right here. How are you tonight? I am doing fantastic, and I really appreciate the follow. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I definitely agree. I mentioned towards the beginning of the stream that I have spent most of my D&D history dungeon mastering, so I very rarely get the opportunity to actually create a character like this. So I'm just having some fun making a character tonight. Right now I'm making a sorcerer tiefling named Torment. Currently creating his backstory, which I'm really getting into. Yeah, it's really exciting. If I get through this, I might end up making another character as well. Maybe something different other than a sword. But yeah, anyway, welcome to the stream. So, let's see. We are currently at the part where he met a friend after being banished by his family. A half-orc named Zenazura. I don't think I need to capitalize half-orc. Anyway. He met a half-orc named Zenazura. Who was the first person Ericus met in the outside world, who was not immediately hostile toward him. Is it super important to have a very thought out backstory? Like I said before, not necessarily. You want to have, so backstory isn't as important. You definitely want to have some personality in mind, just because like you want to have an idea of how your character is going to act in different situations. Makes it easier for like roleplay and stuff like that. I like having a super thought out backstory just because I like writing this stuff. If I didn't like writing this kind of stuff, I wouldn't be a dungeon master. So it's like writing this stuff I really enjoy. The first character I made, I actually never finished his backstory, but it was like 9 pages and running. So you can definitely go all out. Remember when we used to do this all with a pencil? Honestly, I honestly still prefer that. Like, I'd rather do it. I'm only really doing it here digitally for the stream, but whenever I play D&D, like whenever I DM and stuff like that, I take tactile part is awesome. Yeah, and honestly, there's nothing like as you just use a pencil, you just erase and change, and it's cool to have like sort of that living document. And also like it's just generally better to play D&D in person. I think I was actually playing earlier today with some friends, and it's the first time in a very long time that we got to meet in person. We met outside, and the weather was very nice. We're all wearing masks and all that. But obviously, with the current pandemic, it's often more preferable to play online, unfortunately. But yeah, I think there's a lot more value in playing in person and having that physical. That like I have my here. Actually, I can show it off. I have my DM screen right here, which is not that fancy. It's literally two black binders taped together. But yeah, honestly, like this right here is my this is where I like to be, hiding behind my binders, hiding behind the stickers that are on my binder, having all my papers and notes and stuff like that. That is my vibe right there. Much better than sitting behind a computer screen. Although that does make it easier to hide things. Anyway, where were we? Backstory. Let's see. Zenazora and Ericus. Let's see. I wish I had hobbies I was so immersed in like you. I mean, it took me a while. D&D, I think, is a relatively easy thing to be passionate about if you are passionate about it. You can go in deep. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's something that if you do, if you do get into it, it's something that's easy to be passionate about. Which is why, like, I even decided to create a D&D stream in the first place, is because, like, even if I'm like alone like this, which normally I prefer to have other people on and we actually play, but even like when I'm alone like this, I'm still like passionate enough that I know I can just rant about D&D for hours on end. So because I love this stuff, and I'm by no means an expert, even though I'm proclaiming to be the chronicler as I call myself, and I'm like trying to teach people how to play D&D, but I mean, I'm definitely not an expert by any means, and I still have to. Do I play 5th edition? I do. I have. Yeah, this is right here in front of me. I've got my player's handbook right here that I'm using to make this character. Yeah, 5th edition is the only one I actually have experience with. It's the only one I've ever played, so I can't really compare it to anything else. But absolutely, yeah, D&D is one of the biggest obstacles with D&D and getting into it is just like having other people to do it with and like making the time for it, and like everyone that's like had experience with D&D knows that like scheduling and stuff like that is one of the biggest obstacles to come over. But if you can get past that, you can have like a ton of fun, and it becomes super easy to be like super passionate about it if it's something you're into. And that definitely not saying it's for everybody, but for the people that like it, they really like it. It's super fun just to like have a fantasy world where you can do whatever you want. Who doesn't want that, honestly? Let's see, not quickly. They slowly became friends and spent more time together, trying to get by as outcasts living in the woods. One day, in a very tragic accident, Ericus, we'll just be blunt about it. Ericus killed Zenazora, when he cast a spell while hunting and underestimated its power. Having lost his only friend and having been abandoned by his family, Ericus shed his past identity and gave himself a new name of virtue, which is torment. Ah, all that, and it just barely doesn't fit, and then it shrinks it so much. Bad PDF doesn't have a way to adjust font, but that's basically the backstory. So I'm just gonna like read over this just to make sure that it sounds good. Torment, originally named Icarus, was born into a family of isolated tieflings that had a powerful sorcerer's bloodline. His family would use their powers to conceal their presence in the world, even if it was at the expense of others' lives. Ericus ended up being banished and disowned by his family after an embarrassing loss in a duel with his younger brother Morris. After his banishment, Ericus was lost and alone in an unfamiliar world. Using his magic, he was able to scrape by, hunting wild animals in the one day, he met a half-orc named Zinazura, who was the first person Ericus met in the outside world who was not immediately hostile. Zinazura and Ericus slowly became friends and spent more time together trying to get by as outcasts living in the woods. One day, in a very tragic accident, Ericus killed Zinazura when he cast a spell while hunting and underestimated his power. Having lost his only friend and having been abandoned by his family, Ericus shed his past identity and gave himself a new name of virtue. Owner, Maybe Torment is like I'm starting to wonder if that's really the name I want to go with for his virtue name. Second edition was one of the best IMO. I've only played 5th edition at a table one time. Second just had so many mechanics and I enjoyed that. Interesting. I've heard a lot of people mention 3.5. Like, I know that's another popular one, but second, I don't know anything about second edition. I'll have to look into that. That's definitely one of the older ones. Interesting. I'm honestly not sure how different they are between each, but cool. Nowhere would be an interesting name. Sort of like an ode to loneliness without the name literally being loneliness. Because there's like nowhere that he belongs anymore. Even after he was kicked out, he was sort of able to like create a place of where he felt like he belonged with Zinazura. But you know, after he accidentally killed her, not so much anymore. So we're gonna go with nowhere instead. I like that better than Torment. Yep. So nowhere. There's no B. Nowhere. Oh, I guess I want to add on the end. Alone and reborn seems too strong because like forlorn. Ooh, forlorn might be a good one too. That is good. I don't know. It's so hard to pick. I'll come back to it. But forlorn's definitely a good one. I'll come back to it. Names are I struggle a lot with names. I have when I a few keep going, lol, yeah. Just like a little side story. A few years ago, I got a pet, like the first pet that I've ever had that was like my pet, besides like a family dog or something like that. I got a pet chinchilla, and I had him for like an entire month before I finally figured out what I was going to name him. So he was just like nameless for the first month that I owned him. That's how much I struggle with names. So I'm not going to be any better when it comes to naming a D&D character. Yeah, that's harsh. It's not like I didn't want him to have a name. I just couldn't decide. I had so many ideas, but I was indecisive. Um, alone. We'll just say alone. Once again. nowhere. Finally decided to take his new name and his few belongings and leave. I say one thing and type another. Leave the woods to find a new life in civilization. And that's like intentionally vague. That's sort of like, I wanted the character to have some way to introduce them to like the party if I actually use this for a campaign. Basically, like, this wasn't working out. Forlorn, Desolate, Addison, names in my brain, Thesaurus. Those are both good ones. Forlorn and Desolate. Well, you know what? Who needs a brain when you have thesaurus.com? Forlorn, depressed, oppressed, deserted, pathetic, desolate, pitiful, desperate, despondent, destitute, helpless, lonely, miserable, abandoned, alone. Man, this is just a very happy website I'm looking at right here. Friendless, that would be sad. Fruitless, godforsaken. Hell of those. You know what? I'm gonna pick from the site. These are all good words. Comfortless, cheerless. I mean, friendly. Actually, let me see synonyms of friendless because that's what I want to go for. Adrift. Ooh, I kind of like adrift. Estranged. That's also a good one. That makes a lot of sense. There's forlorn again. Forsaken. Adrift is cool. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards adrift. Let's go adrift. I'm not gonna think about it too much before I decide to change it again. Now I gotta go back and change it everywhere on the character sheet. Adrift. Drift. Did I hit? I miss anywhere? I haven't even changed these. Drift. Adrift and alone. And alone. With no friends, because you killed them all. By accident, but they're still dead. And that is why you were alone. Adrift. Rabbit holes! It is, it really is. Did I get it? I think I hit everywhere. I think I hit everywhere. Yeah, I can clean up this stuff later. I guess. Treasure, additional features and traits. I don't think I need more. Alright, let's get into spells. Why not? Can I see that first sheet? Sure. Yeah, this, I mean, these are gonna be wrong right now, but these are the stats. I just, like, rolled them, and then, like, added stuff from, things and stuff. Great explanation. Highest class charisma, obviously, that's spellcasting for a sorcerer. Manual rules? Yeah, I did manual rules just because it's more fun. I don't actually know if I'm ever gonna get to use this character, so I didn't really care. But I got some decent rolls. You know, anything from my charisma was originally 17, my intelligence was 11. Those both had bonuses to them for my tiefling race, but yeah, I did manual rolls. I know they can be tricky as a DM because sometimes your players get way too overpowered or underpowered stuffs, and I always have to like manage that. But using standard array can be kind of like boring just because you don't get to roll. I mean, people play D&D to roll dice. Let's roll some dice while we make our character too. I never put my passive wisdom in here. 0. I don't have proficiency in perception. So, spells. Spells. What do I get? Where am I in this book? Why am I looking at Druid? Alright, here we go. Sorcerer. I know I definitely missed some stuff when I did this earlier. RDM made us manage our super strong rolls and offset with a lower than average roll somewhere else made it interesting. Yeah, I mean, basically what I'll do is, like, what I usually do is I'll just have them roll, and then, like, if I just tell them whether or not I like it or not, and, like, if they roll, like, way too much strong stuff or way too much, like, really low rolls, then I'll just make them start over until it's something that I like. Sorcerer's Origins. I completely missed Sorcerer's Origins. You can have 20 strength, but your intelligence caps at 6. That's definitely one way to balance it. Having low intelligence, honestly, can make for some fun roleplay. just well, stupid brute, I guess, would be that. Needless to say, my lowest stat is strength, so I'm kind of a wimp. Adrift is kind of a wimp, that is. Alright, so Draconic Bloodline. I'm going wild magic because I want to. I wild magic is fun. Let's see. Starting when you choose this origin, the first level your spellcasting can release surges of untamed magic. Once per turn, roll a d20 immediately after you cast a sorcerer spell of first level or higher. If you roll a 1, mild magic surge table is to create a magical effect. Alright. Basically, wild magic sorcerers sometimes just have random stuff happen. Have this fun chart right here. I'm not even gonna try to make it so you can actually read it, but just assume like this is a big chart with like 50 things on it. I know the camera won't focus in on it if I try to show it to the camera. Something. What page? 104. Actually, I guess. Hold on. Let me actually give me just a second. I know I have this somewhere close. Copy and paste. For anyone else, if you don't have a player's handbook, there's a link to one. Enjoy. Yep, 104. Fun stuff. I've never played a sorcerer before. I've never even had a sorcerer in a campaign before, so it's interesting to learn about them. Get one, they're cheap. These are not cheap. These books are not cheap. That is not true at all. Needless to say, it's a bit hypocritical for me to say that because, first of all, there's the Dungeon Master's Guide. There's a second player's handbook that I have. Let's see. There's Xanathar's Guide to Everything in the Monster Manual. For a grand total of 5 books. So, not to mention, you know, the fact that I have a duplicate of these super expensive books, but that's not important, okay? D&D can either be a very cheap hobby or a very expensive hobby. 200, 325, 330. I will say, however, I got my first player's handbook for $15 because it was on sale on Amazon, and Amazon also had a promotion with a coupon code for any book on their entire website. So I got my first player's handbook for a nice $15, which is the most magical thing that's ever happened to me. Ever in my entire life. Yeah, I know, that's like unbelievable that I managed to get the player's handbook for $15. It was like a double whammy. I got a coupon and a sale. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It was unbelievable, I know. I thought I did good on a new one at 35. That's still pretty good, because they usually go for like, what, $50 or something like that? So, that's still good, you know? I'm not, like, just because I got one for 15 doesn't mean you didn't get a good deal, but Yeah. That being said, there's a free PDF online. I didn't steal it. I found it. I don't know where I found it, but I found it somewhere. I don't know where. I just have it somewhere. I don't need it. I bought their book twice. I think I can afford to share it with other people online. Anyway, I'm looking at spells. Truth. Yeah, I got it twice. Sort of. Second one was technically a gift, but it still counts. Um, let's see. Spells. Come on. You'll tell me where the spells are, right? Chapter 11. Okay, cool. So I don't get a page number. Great. Time to go to table of contents. 207. Besides, like, all this stuff is available online on D&D Beyond too, so, like, you can get away without even having the player's handbook. You know, pirated or not. Alright. So as a sorcerer, I get 4 cantrips to start at level 1. I just like having it though. Yeah, like you said about like having like the tactile stuff, it's so much better to have like the physical book. There's also a pretty solid phone app. That is true. Yeah, there's actually a lot of different apps that you can get for tons of D&D stuff. But yeah, absolutely. Definitely helpful. That's good for like quick referencing stuff too. Cantrips. I get 4 cantrips. I already have Thaumaturgy for being a tiefling. Um, so let's see. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Firebolt. Can't wait to see the book tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to make a character with you. That'll be a lot of fun. You have a really good idea for yours. Where was I? Firebolt, a given. That's one to, you know, launch a fireball at someone. Um, too bad I don't have Fireball yet. Anyone mess with Baldur's Gate? Uh, I personally have not. Literally all of the DMing, well, actually, like 99% of my Dungeons and Dragons experiences in general has been homebrew, so I have not. Um, but I know some people that have at my school, so that doesn't help me at all. But I have like zero experience with Baldur's Gate. Hmm. Shocking. I think I was gonna go with Shocking Grasp as one of my cantrips as well. Shocking Grasp sounds like a fun cantrip. I can find the description for it. This would be so much easier if I knew my alphabet. We're almost there. Shocking Grasp. Here it is. Deliver a shock to a creature you try to touch. Make a melee attack. Advantage on the attack roll if they're wearing an armor made of metal. And 1d8 lightning damage. And it can't take reactions until the start of the next turn. I'm definitely taking that. That is super good. Shocking Grasp. Now for some less combat stuff. Minor Illusion could be fun, but only to the DM's discretion. Because Minor Illusion gives you a lot of freedom, and sometimes DMs like to rein in on that, because, you know, sometimes too much freedom can be a bad thing. It basically lets you create like illusions of small objects or illusionary sounds here and there within like a short distance of itself. Let's see. Message. Message is like really good. If you have a dungeon master that is like strictly against metagaming, like if your party gets separated and you're not near them, and your dungeon master's like, well, you can't communicate to each other if you're not close, like within hearing range or like in another room or something like that. And if you have message, you can send them like a telepathic message to them. And I don't remember, can they respond without having the cantrip? I think they can respond too. Maybe. I have to check on that. Do message MES. Let's see. Oh, it has a range of 120 feet. Oh, so you have to be able to see them. Yeah, they can reply. Yeah, they can reply. But you have to be able to see them. And 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, a thin sheet of lead, 3 feet of wood blocks the spell. Spell doesn't have to follow a straight line and can travel freely around corners or through openings. Okay. So that's alright. I mean, it seems like you wouldn't need to use message. It also allows for private communication, which is good. What are my other options? I still have, how many choices do I have left? 2? Yeah, 2 more choices. Or cantrips. Mage Hand is really good as well. We were allowed to pass notes the DM couldn't see. Yeah, that's always like... That's always an interesting thing, is like whether or not DMs like allow that or not. I don't know. I haven't actually ran into that issue before. Like, I don't even think I've ever had a player ask me to pass a note without me like seeing it, or ask to pass a note to another player without me seeing it. So I've never even like ran into that issue. I mean, honestly, I guess it would probably be fine, because it's like you're not gonna automatically be able to know your player's every intention anyway. They're kind of like the wild random variable in your session regardless, while you have control over everything else. So why not allow them to pass notes? I don't see anything wrong with that in most cases. Then again, I'm saying that as someone who hasn't actually allowed that before, so might be different in practice. Usually tended to lead to someone doing something they didn't want the rest of the party to know with another party member. Yeah, but that doesn't mean your DM can't know about it. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing against players doing stuff in secret. Right, but it adds to the surprise. That is true. That is true. Hard to uh what is chill touch? I don't think I've looked at that one. You can tell I haven't played a magic caster before. I don't know any spells. I hope it just makes them cold. Uh, it's a necromancy cantrip. You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail with the chill of the grave. Ooh, I kind of like that. And it gives disadvantage on attack rolls to undead targets. That sounds cool. I might have to replace one of my attack ones, because I have Firebolt and Shocking Grasp. I don't know, you know what? There's nothing wrong with having Chill Touch too. Because that way, I have Shocking Grasp, which gives, no, it has advantage against people with armor, metal armor, and it takes away their reaction for the next turn. And then this one would give undead targets disadvantage against. And it still does 1d8 necrotic damage. And Necromancy is just cool in general. Mage Hand can be kind of fun and different stuff. Oh no, Mage Hand is definitely super fun. The creative cantrips like Mage Hand or like Minor Illusion, or like I've even seen players be really creative with Prestidigitation. There's some fun stuff you can do with that cantrip. That cantrip lets you do some fun stuff. But Prestidigitation is all like flavor, you know, flavor to roleplay. For the most part, I mean, you can use it to like clean things, but not like practical, really. But Chill Touch just sounds cool. In roleplay non-combats, that really opens up the story for the DM. Yeah, yeah, and that's why like, okay, I really wanted to take, so I get 4 cantrips as a level 1 sorcerer, and I was gonna do 2 combat cantrips. So I Firebolt and Shocking Grasp, and then I was gonna do 2 that were like less combat-y. But now I kind of want Chill Touch, but I might pass it up and take like, I think I'm gonna pass on Message, maybe, and then I'll do. There's also Dancing Lights, which I'm pretty sure is just like. Yeah, okay, yeah. Dancing Lights, you create 4 torch-sized lights. You can combine them into a humanoid form. Each stage shed a thin light. Move them with a bonus action. They are very bright. That's a dim light in a 10-foot radius. Nah, I'll pass on that. I can always just have a torch instead. Alright, I'm gonna actually settle. No more indecisiveness. I am going for Mage Hand. Right? And then my final choice, the most important one, is going to be Minor Illusion. Perfect. Amazing. We're not even done yet, because now I have to choose 2 level 1 spells to know. So Burning Hands, I don't think I want to take Burning Hands, because I think, as a tiefling, let me check this. As a tiefling, I get Hellish Rebuke as at the 3rd level, which I think is similar to Burning Hands, is it not? I know Hellish Rebuke because I have a Warlock in one of my campaigns. Where are you, Hellish Rebuke? Gotta get to the H's. Here we go. As a reaction, point your finger. Momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. So single target, while Burning Hands is a cone. That's the difference. Burning Hands. I don't know my alphabet. Which is a 15-foot cone. 1d6 fire damage. And it increases drastically. Ooh. Burning Hands is definitely good. The Charm Person, Chromatic Orb. Thunderwave, yeah, I was looking at that. I might do Thunderwave. Do Thunderwave. Thunderwave. S. T. I do know my alphabet. Thunderwave. Yay! Here it is. 15-foot cube originating from you. 2d8 thunder damage, pushed 10 feet away on a failed saving throw. Half damage if succeeded, no pushing. Also pushes all unsecured objects 10 feet away. Thunderverse boom of audible out to 300 feet. It's like it can get pretty powerful. Damage increases by 1d8 for each spell. That sounds good. That sounds really good. And also fun. And I like things that are good and fun. Witch Bolt. Let's see. Shit flies everywhere. Yeah, yeah, that's what it seems like. Also fun for the DM. I'm sure it is. It honestly sounds like a pretty amazing spell. Witch Bolt sounds good. I'll come back to that one. Let's see what my other options are. Sleep, that's pretty. What is that? Silent Image. S comes before T. Silent Image. Create an image of an object, creature, some other visible phenomenon longer than a 15 cube. Purely visible. That doesn't seem very useful. Especially if I already have Minor Illusion. Not that different from that. And Minor Illusion can actually make sounds. Wait, but I could use Minor Illusion with Silent Image to give it sound. Thereby giving me an illusion with sound, but it's still an illusion. And it can't actually do anything. So just gonna pick another random spell and check it out. False Life. Gain 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit point. Oh, that's it? Interesting. 4 HP? Yeah, yeah. Let's see. I could always get Jump. I know Jump. I had, one of my parties once asked me if, so I had 2 people in the party that knew Jump. They asked me if one of them, if they could, like, piggyback on each other, and then one of them would jump, and then the other one would jump off of the other person, the first person, mid-air, thereby doubling their jump. In order to jump over, like, a city wall. There it is. Creature's jump distance is tripled, yeah. That's bananas. Honestly, the kind of stuff. Also, like, well, the whole thing was like super silly because one of the members of the party is an Aarakocra, and they can fly, so it's kind of a little bit redundant to be able to jump. What would that be? So tripled with two people would be like 6 times your normal jump height. Um, when you can just fly anyway. Wait, what? Lol. Yeah, I think it's one of the newer races, but Aarakocras have wings, so they can fly. It's honestly not really that big of a deal because, like, she's the only one out of the party that can fly. So, like, sure, like, she can fly and get out of situations, but that would just be like leaving the entire party behind. But yeah, and she's a ranger. Why have jump then? Because she can't like just carry everybody. I don't actually remember why. I don't even remember why they have it, but they do. Because it was fun. Yeah, roll of fun. There you go. Because it was fun. Color spray is a fun spell. Although honestly, like, I don't think I'll take it. But it blinds creatures. I don't know, color spray is kind of fun. The 15-foot cone. Hmm. In the campaign, comprehend language is pretty useful times. Depends on the setting though. Yeah, that could definitely be useful. I probably won't take it now for this character since I don't really have a campaign that it's for, but like one if I do ever find one and I decide to use this character, then maybe I will switch some stuff up and take that because that can definitely be useful. I already know 3 though because I took the Outlander background, so I've got Common, Infernal, and Sylvan because it sounds like it would be fun to talk to Faye if you know that ever happens. Ooh, Chromatic Orb. Chromatic Orb sounds really good. Oh, but Chromatic Orb costs a diamond worth at least 50 gold pieces. Hmm. So it's good, but it has a cost. It comes with a cost. Still, it's 3d damage. Plus, you get to choose between acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder. That is really good. Um, hmm. Okay, I'm pretty sure at this point I'm gonna take Thunderwave. Hard to knock Thunderwave. That sounds like a fun spell. Fog Cloud sounds interesting. Yeah, effective and fun. Honestly, how can you knock that? Give it to me. Thunder Wave is mine. Mine. How many slots do I get? I actually don't remember. Uh, two spell slots. Okay, two. M. Fog Cloud sounds fun and stupid, but also dumb. So 20-foot radius sphere of fog, centered on a point within 120 feet of range. I can just create clouds. uh, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards chromatic orb, even with the cost. Stupid and dumb. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go chromatic orb. As much, well, I don't know. What do you think? Chromatic orb or fog cloud? I think stupid plus dumb equals something awesome is about to happen. I mean, it's just a fog cloud. It just obscures area, and if it's windy, it's worthless. And chromatic orb sounds really cool. I get to choose the element that it is. Like, that's pretty badass. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go chromatic orb. It's expensive though. They temper the use of that well. I know, but I have Thunder Wave, so it's okay. I don't know. It just sounds so cool that but there is the cost. I figured it was like. Actually, how often am I really gonna want to use that even with the cost? You know what? Fine. You know what? We're taking Fog Cloud. I'm just gonna take Fog Cloud. I'm taking it. I have decided. Um. Yes. I need to go back to Sorcerer on here, wherever the heck that is. There we go. So. Alright, so spellcasting ability is Charisma. I'll just put C. Spell save DC. That is 8 plus proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier. So it's 8 plus 2 plus 4. 14. Spell attack modifier is 2 plus 4 is 6. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all the main points. I mean, these I need to go back and clean up, but I can do that later. I guess I can fill this out. So let's see. So our main attacks. So we have. Let's see. We have. Is it typing? Did it type? Nope. Firebolt. We have Shocking Grasp and Thunder Wave. Who cares about this crossbow down here? Um, time to go back. Firebolt. We'll start with that one. Da, da, da. That's Fireball. Firebolt. 1d10. And it's fire. I think that's pretty obvious. LMS SOP. Wait. I don't know my alphabet. What did I just say? LMS? I'm an idiot. I'm actually stupid. I don't even know. I don't either. LMNOPQRS. And then we get to S. And then T. That's where S is. I'm not qualified for this whatsoever. Shocking Grasp is 1d8 at level 1. Okay, and it's thunder damage, obviously. Or is it called light? No, it's lightning. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Lightning damage. This is gonna be lightning damage as well. Thunder Wave is on the next page after S. And then the next page. And Thunder Wave. 2d8 damage. 2d. That's not a 2. There we go. Right, small novel and character. How does the sing the alphabet song to live up spells? At least, well, honestly, that's about right. It took me multiple tries too to get the alphabet right. So I deserve that. I deserve that. Yeah. I guess, okay, now that I have everything else, and now that I have a personality and a backstory, now I'll come up with an alignment. I'd read it. I think it's a good backstory. Hopefully, it should be. I'm usually good with grammar. I think it's probably grammatically correct for the most part. Alright, where do they even put alignment in the book? The character details? See, alignment's so unimportant. It's not even in the table with time. I could have rolled for height, but I don't care. Alignment, here it is. I don't think I would be lawful. Probably not evil, so I'd say neutral. Maybe like neutral good? Or true neutral? No, not true neutral. That wouldn't make sense. Do the best they can to help others according to their own needs. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, because I feel like, so adrift, like, obviously abandonment issues, obviously family issues, considering banishment and disownment, and all that good stuff. But after everything that happened with Zenazora, you know, he kind of learned to open up a bit. Oh, I forgot I can zoom this back in a little bit. There we go. You kind of learn to open up a little bit. Element can always shift in gameplay. Yeah, it can. And honestly, like, I think I talked about this before you came in, but I don't like alignment all that much because some people will like make a character and they'll start with alignment. So like this being the only blank thing up here was very intentional. But I figured I might as well fill it in. But honestly, I don't think it matters because alignment is something that you learn in practice by actually playing the character, not by not by like just coming up with it and saying like, oh, I'm going to start a chaotic good character without knowing anything else about them. I'm just starting with that. Yeah, I'm just gonna neutral good. We'll just start with that. All right. Well, we have a level 1 character, Adrift. I honestly really like him. Yep. All right, let's start another one. Da da da. Sweet. All right. Let's see. I can probably go through it more quickly this time around. So let's see. What do we want to start this time? Gotta go. This is awesome. So psyched to make a character tomorrow. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Unique. I appreciate you joining us. Stream I needed tonight. Needed a D&D chat fix. Awesome. Well, I'm glad I could. I'm glad I could help out. Are there any characters you'd like to make like to see me make? I honestly like. I really wanted to make a sorcerer, but I honestly didn't have any other preferences. I've made a fighter before. I think you love it. um, a cleric might be interesting. I've never had a cleric in any of my campaigns. No one ever likes to play the healer. Do something really weird. Um, you love playing a cleric? Really? That's interesting. Hold on, can't you like? Isn't there a way to like make a cleric into a necromancer? Trickery domain? I don't know much about clerics. Trickery domain? Yeah, I'm looking at that now. Let's see. Patrons of these scoundrels, gamblers, rebels, and liberators. That definitely sounds fun. Disruptive force in the world. Charm person, disguise self, mirror image, pass without trace, blink, dispel magic, dimension door, polymorph. Yeah, that. I can see why you say this is a lot of fun. Oh, invisibility, vanishing. That's amazing. War domain. What else have we got? Nature domain, light domain, life. So life domain is you raise that at ninth. I thought there was like a distinct branch to go down like necromancer with cleric, but I might have been wrong about that. Channel divinity. Turn undead. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's make a cleric. Um. All right. Um. Yeah, I guess we'll just start. We'll have a cleric, and we will choose a race. Um. Dwarf might be fun. How about a dragonborn? I've never had a dragonborn before. That sounds cool. Let's do that. A Dragonborn Cleric. Oh, OP? Is that OP? Is that just Dragonborns in general or a Dragonborn Cleric? Would be super interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm down to try it. I'll see how it ends up. All right. Let's see. So clerics use wisdom as their spellcasting modifier. Oh yeah, so I guess I need to roll for stats. So let's do that. Let me get my dice. That's 1d6. 2, 3, and 4. All right. Let's see what we get. 8, that's a 10. That's a 9. Fun. That is a 13. Love it. That is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 5, 9, 11 again. And last but not least... Ooh, that was a good one. That was a 17. I'll take it. Alright, well I know where the 17 is going. Drop that right there. Let's see, 13. So let me go back to Eric. The strength or constitution? +2 strength, +1 charisma. Well, I have... Okay, my second highest is a 13, which is only a +1. Yeah, I think... Okay, so I'll put the 13 in strength. Is there going to be solid rolls? Let's see, so 13, that leaves me with 11, 11, 10, and 9, which are all going to be 0 modifiers. Which is amazing. Well, what's going to be my dump stat? Is it going to be intelligence? It always feels like it's going to be intelligence. Yeah, let's do 9 for intelligence and do 11 constitution, 11 charisma, 10 dexterity. Good. Maybe. I don't really know. +3 and another 0. All right, hit die. 8 plus Constitution modifier. My Constitution modifier is 0. It might go up later, so I'm gonna wait. I don't know what Dragonborns get. Um, Proficiencies. We have light armor. Medium armor. Was it shields? Yeah, shields. Uh, oh, +2 strength and +1 charisma are the ability mods for a dragonborn. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Sorry, I didn't realize that's what you meant. +1 charisma. Nice. Okay, cool. +1. Awesome. Okay, cool, cool. So that doesn't affect constitution, so hit points is just gonna start with 8. Okay. Shields. Simple weapons. Let's see. Skills choose from history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion. Religion just seems like a natural to pick with a cleric, so I'm gonna pick religion. As one of them. They're a cleric. Seems to make sense. And let's see, what were my options? History, insight, medicine, persuasion, and maybe medicine? With medicine. Oh, religion is an intelligence. My intelligence is low, so I could use proficiency in that maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, I'll come back to equipment once I pick a background. Huh. So initiative is gonna be 0. Passive perception is gonna be yeah. Hit die. What is my hit die? D8. Gotta have the 3 failures in there, of course. Only a natural that my character would start off dead. And okay, let's pick a background. Yeah, I'll get to equipment after. Let me see if there's anything else. Spellcasting. Yeah, I'll get to that at the end. Spellcasting takes me way too long to let's see. Maybe an acolyte? Acolyte would definitely make sense. A folk hero might make sense too. Depends on what kind of background I want to have. I kind of like folk hero. Sort of like a little like a village hero, humble origins. This could get really deep for the backstory. I mean, I got to. I got to. I can't not. I like that. Let's do folk hero. I don't know. I just like. I feel like that goes in line with the cleric somehow. I don't know. I feel like that could be something really cool. Folk hero. Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at Dragonborn. Well, actually, let me get the I'm on folk hero now. Might as well go ahead and get the stuff from that. Let's see. Proficiencies. Skill proficiencies. Animal handling and survival. Okay. Awesome. Tool proficiencies. Um, one type of artisan's tool. And then land vehicle. Okay. My guy can drift here, I guess. Dragon paladins are amazing also. That's completely by accident. I definitely did not do that on purpose. Let's see. Artisan's tool. I don't know. Let's just go with like. Is there like? Because there's like an actual. Hold on. D&D artisan tool. Tools. Yeah. Here we go. A potter, mason. Oh, well, I could make some nice shoes. I feel like that would be a fun little quirk. I kind of like that. I'm gonna go cobbler. Yeah. R1. Amazing. All right. And then equipment. For a character that doesn't like to wear shoes, exactly. It's like sort of the idea of like a good chef, right? They don't they make food to see other people enjoy their food, right? Not for them to enjoy it. This is freaking awesome. So my cleric here is someone who makes shoes to enjoy to spread their faith, of having protected and safe feet within their high quality shoes that they're very proficient and skilled in making. However, they walk around everywhere. Actually, hold on, I'm putting that I'm gonna make ideal. Never wears shoes. Perfect. Amazing. Thank you for the idea. I love that. All right, equipment. A set of artisans tools. Well, obviously cobbler's tools. Um, shovel. Iron pot. Don't think I need to mention that they're wearing clothes. And then 10 gold pieces. It's the best thing ever. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, let's go Dragonborn real quick. Make sure I got what I need from that. Let's see. Dragonborn. Let's see. So I already got the ability scores. They live to be around 80. I can get to age in a minute. Dragonborn tend to be extremes. Ooh. Most Dragonborns are good. Okay, that's interesting to know. I'll keep that in mind. Speed is 30 feet. Okay. Let's see. There's one type of dragon from the Draconic Ancestry table. Your breath weapon and damage resistance are determined by your dragon type as shown in the table. Oh, okay. You get a breath weapon. Interesting. Um, what color do we want our cleric to be? I guess that'd be right here. Let's go with poison. Well, I kind of like cold. They mature quickly. Yeah, yeah. Think I saw that. Where'd it go? Development of a 10-year-old human child by the age of 15, or by the age of 3, reach adulthood by 15. Okay. So it could probably, so they could definitely be younger if they're an adult by 15. Um, let's put them at like 18. That's like the equivalent of like a 21-year-old human then, sort of. Sure, why not? Um, let's do silver. I don't know why. I just like silver, which means that the dragon breath is cold. Um, ooh, nice. Yeah, which is a Constitution saving throw. Um, 2d6 damage. So it would be 2d6 cold damage. So I'll put that here. 2d6 cold. Cool. That's cool. I honestly didn't even know they had that. Damage resistance. Oh yeah, yeah. And then what do you is there somewhere for resistances or do you just kind of I just put it here. Cold resistance. Languages. So obviously we get common and draconic. Sick. Alright, let's name this character. Alright, fantasy name generator. I have faith in you. Alright, so for names. So they get a personal name given at birth, and then they get a clan name. They put their clan name first as a mark of honor. Okay. Their family name or their clan name would come first. And then they often get childhood nicknames as well. Let's come with a clan name first. Them fed submonid. I want something I can pronounce. Oh wait, I didn't even decide whether this is gonna be a male or female character. Alright, head male, female, tails. Tails! Can you pull it up on the screen? Oh, is it not? Oh no! Is it not showing on the screen? Oh, my bad. I had no idea. Um... What happened to it? Hold on. Sorry, sometimes, like, the stream just, like, decides to break capturing my browser. Da da da. There it is. Beautiful. Let's move that. Behind the background. There it is. Cool. I got tails. We're doing a female character. Yeah, I don't know why that happened, but it's fixed now. I honestly should have been checking that. That's my bad. Clan name doesn't really matter what the sex was anyway, but drawer neuron. No worries, man. Thanks, I appreciate it. Jason, no. For June. Weird. Some funky ass name. They really do. I usually just like pick one that I think sounds good, but I'm probably gonna have to settle for one with this. Um, Pram Ban. Taking it. Something that sounds silver? Hmm. Does Pram Ban sound silver to you? I don't think it's very silver. Now this is a silver name right here. Reminds me of the Flintstones. The problem is I don't know how to pronounce this word. Bam Bam. Honestly, I kind of want to like. Okay, I kind of want to take uh Pram Ban and put another R in it to make it Pram Bran. I kind of like that. Or I could do Pam Bam or Pam Bam. I think I like Pram Bran. I still think it's silly, but yeah, so we got that. Now we need a personal name. Um Chris Riff? I kinda like that. I'd take that. Yes. Alright, now, I guess the generator doesn't make them here, but I want a childhood name as well. Because why not? Nickname. Yeah. I wonder if there's a generator for that. Hold on. Uh, and hmm, nickname generator. Here we go. Jesus. This is not gonna work the way that I thought it would. Nickname. This is not helpful at all. Do an anagram? I could. You mean like I think this is what this will make. I don't know what's gonna happen if I put this in here. That's the wrong one. Can't copy that. Rearrange the letters of the first name. Yeah. I think that's what this'll do. So okay, so it's Chris Riff. Um okay. H I Oh wait, no, you mean an anagram of the clan name. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that would be easier. I don't know. I don't know how to make another word out of Chris Rib. Because I only have one vowel to work with. And you already know. Either lol, that's hard. Yeah, you already know I'm not good when it comes to letters. S. S-I-S-H-I T. Those are all letters that are in Chris Riff. Mr. Naprap. What if they were bullied as a child and they were called Pam Bran, Pram Bran, Shit Rip, Chris Rip? And so that's their childhood nickname. They were just a total brat. Nobody liked them. Oh my god. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that. I have to keep that. Oh man. Shit, bro. Oh, that's good. As long as it like has that like alliteration. Shit breath, Chris Riv. I gotta keep the I. It's gotta say with an I. That way it has it. It's gotta have the alliteration. You know, that's what makes it a good nickname. But that's, oh man, I love that. I love that so much. All right, we've got our name down. Um, so I guess she's just a little shit as a child. And that's why this was a childhood nickname. Oh man, that's amazing. And she never wears shoes. I guess. Um, all right, I don't even know where to go from here. Hence the breath weapon. That's what they scream when they use that attack. Shipwreck. I feel like she might be a little embarrassed to have that childlike nickname. I don't know if she would just scream it out whenever she was doing an attack. Unless she was just like, this is such a terrible nickname that whenever I kill someone with my, breath attack, I want it to be the last thing they hear. This is so ridiculous. No, it totally is. It totally is. Oh man, I don't even know where to go from here. What am I oh, I need to go back to get my cleric gear. I'm missing that. Here it is. Alright. We have a mace. We have I'll take the scale mail. Light crossbow, 20 bolts. Shield, holy symbol. I guess I need to pick like a deity. I'll get to that later. I'll just say like amulet. That seems nice. And then a priest pack or an explorer's pack. Now I gotta find the page for that again. I don't even remember where I found it. Um, hmm. I just can't find stuff in this again. Is it in the? Oh, here we go. 148, I think is what I think. Nope. Well, it's somewhere around here. There it is, 151. Okay. Priest pack, blanket, backpack, 10 candles, tinderbox, an elms box, 2 boxes of incense, censer, vestments, 2 days of rations, and a water skin. Or go on explorer's pack. Backpack, bedroll, Oh no, I'm sorry. Backpack, bedroll, mess kit, tinderbox. Both of those are kind of meh. I'll just go with the priest pack since I'm a cleric. Okay. What's equipment? All right. Da da da. Let's see. Spells. Yeah. All right. I guess I should go ahead and pick a domain. Um. Let's see. So you get at the first level you get 3 cantrips. Do you get any spells? I get 2. Okay, I'll go ahead and mark. I have 2 first level spell slots. How many spells do I get to know? Where am I missing that? The cleric table shows how many spell slots you have. Ah, you must prepare the list of cleric spells that are available for you to cast. There's a number of cleric spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your cleric level. So 3 plus 1 is 4, so I can have 4 spells prepared at once. Okay, just out of the list. Got it. Very different from sorcerer. Spells must be a level 4 to have spell slots. Naturally. Okay, so 3. I'll start with the cantrips. 3 cantrips from the cleric spell list. Cool, we'll do that. Cantrips, guidance, light mending, resistance, sacred flame, spare the dying, thaumaturgy. Okay, I get 3 of those. Well, I already know what thaumaturgy is. What is spare the dying? SP H SPA R. Spare the dying. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable. Oh, it's just a stabilizing spell. Ah, not very fancy, I guess. Um what about Sacred Flame? Oh, let's see. Flame like Radiance. 1d8 radium radiant damage on a failed saving throw. That sounds good. I mean, I get 3. I might as well take an attack one. Alright, let's see. I don't know. What is guidance? I think I just missed it. That's not it. That's at the end of the G's. Guidance. You touch one willing creature. Yeah. Before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. Ooh, okay. So it's like a support spell. Um, light. Light could be fun. Mending, resistance, sacred flame. I guess I might as well take thaumaturgy. Because Thaumaturgy is a fun cantrip. Let me refresh the actual details of it real quick, though. Thaumaturgy. Voice booms 3 times louder, flames to flicker, brighten dim, harmless tremors, instantaneous sound. Instantaneously cause an unlocked door window to fly open or shut. Alter the appearance of eyes. Does any? Yeah, I kind of like Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy's fun. It's just the flavor cantrip. That's what I like about it. And I guess, I mean, guidance seems like it could be good. I don't know. Mending, just like, I don't know how often mending would be useful because it seems like it's very limited in what you can fix. I don't know. Maybe that could be useful. I mean, it's between mending or hmm, or maybe I could just take light. I don't know. Do I want to fix things or make things glow? Let's just take mending. Maybe it'll be useful. Alright, that's the cantrips. Spells I don't really need to get into now because I'm not actually using this character right now. Let's get into backstory. Alright, so Ham Brand Shit Brith Chris Rith. All we have so far is she never wears shoes. More interesting than Light, lol. Yeah. Well, at least with Light you get to at least with Light you get to like pick the color. I don't know. That name, I know, I'm never gonna get over that name. Can we just like I feel like automatic inspiration for that. I don't know if the DM will agree with that, but automatic inspiration. All right. Let's see. So already have an age. Oh, I guess we need. Oh wait, let me. Oh, I need to make sure I have the name down here as well. Wouldn't want to miss that. Not for the world. Alright, Dragonborn. Let's see. Often standing close to 6.5 feet tall. Well, that sounds good to me. I'll make her slightly taller than average. Just slightly. They weigh like 300 pounds, thick girl, honestly. Yeah, weighing like 300 pounds or more. Well, we always gotta go like just barely above average. 301 pounds. Thick. Let's see. Scales, yeah. Does it mention their eyes? I don't think it mentions their eyes. It mentions their scales twice for some reason. Oh, Dragonborn would have tails. Interesting. I'll Google it. Okay. Hair. Does Dragonborn have hair? It doesn't look like they have hair. I don't think they get hair. Because they have scales. They don't? Okay, yeah. Not applicable. The one in the book has yellow eyes, which I guess is like kind of reptilian. Makes sense. I mean, I guess any like colors, color eyes that a dragon could have. A dragonborn could also have, since they kind of like defended. Red or gold? Okay, I guess that's kind of gold. I think since their skin is silver, I think red would go well with that. We'll do red eyes. All right. Let's see. To back out a little bit for that. Let's see. I don't want to do. It would be really easy. This is your baby here. I know. It would be like really easy with a Dragonborn to do another exile story, but I already did one, so I don't want to do another exile story because that would just be unoriginal and not creative. Got to be something unique. Um, so maybe. Let's see. So we know they were a brat as a child, and they don't like shoes. Um, I'm not sure why. They're also a cleric, so they're spiritual, most likely. And we gave them the folk hero background. So it would make sense for her to be an exile and a folk hero. I guess gears are turning, gears are turning. Let's give her. So if she's a folk hero, there's got to be a story behind it. But it's got to be like small scale because this is just background, you know, and she's just a level 1 cleric. So let's say there was. What if she was a fraud? Right? So let's say that there was a spooky, scary monster like outside of her like she lived in like a small dragonborn village, kind of outside of like obviously not urban city, kind of like out on its own. They had some contact with the outside world, aren't completely isolated, but a little remote. And then there was these rumors that started going around, and maybe like a couple disappearances, people in the village, as like these rumors start brewing of like there's a monster in in like the woods or the jungle, or anyway, there's a monster nearby that like will attack at night or like will attack people when they go out to hunt or things like that. But the monster isn't really a real threat. It's just like a ruse. I'm trying to think of a way to put this. Way to sort of spin this story. So that way she's a fraud. All right, so let's cut the disappearances because that doesn't really make sense. So there's never any disappearances. There's sort of rumors. Basically like a hunter would come back after seeing this quote unquote monster and coming back terrified, and then rumors start to spread, and then stories brew, and everyone's like, oh, super scared about like this big monster that's terrorizing the village or something like that. Um, and they're all like, we got to do something about it, and then our hero here, Chris Rith, Shitbirth Chris Rith. Oh man, I can't get over that. She decides to go out and tackle this issue, and I mean, she's as convinced as everyone else at this point that this is a real monster. She had the monster steal something from the temple in her village. Ooh, that would be good. Yeah, I haven't really picked a deity or anything like that. Work in her religion. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So she's taking it personally. That's even better. She's taking it personally because they stole it from her temple. The temple that she goes to worship at, and like many people in her village go to worship at. I mean, she's a cleric, so I'm just trying to figure out what this monster should be. Like, how about it's just like it turned out just to be like an illusionary, like it's just like a petty thief that managed to somehow spin these huge stories. It's got to be ridiculous. Yeah, it's got to be more ridiculous than that. Wait, I know. So, what was stolen? There was a jewel stolen from the temple, right? Some like precious jewel. or like piece of jewelry or something like that. So it's something shiny. And you know what likes shiny things are crows. So it was stolen by a wild crow that just happened to fly into the temple and snatch this thing and fly away. But this crow is also, or maybe it's instead it's a mockingbird. And it's a very intelligent mockingbird. And so it can make scary sounds. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, how would they ever be convinced that this thing was a monster? No, what if... Ooh, no, the monster... Okay, how about this? The monster's real, but there's a mockingbird. And the mockingbird steals the jewel, or the jewelry. Pull out the monster manual. Yeah, what the monster is isn't important. What matters... I mean, I can get to that in a minute. I have the monster manual right here. Here. I don't know. Give me a random page. Of course, I landed on the mimic page. That's appropriate. A jackalware? Ooh. 94. What's on 94? That's a dragon. I don't think... No. Page 94 is a dragon. Ironic. Yeah, honestly. I don't think a dragon. I think I've landed on a random page, right? And there's a jackalware, kind of like a werewolf, but jackals, I think. Except in its true form, it's just a jackal, but it can also turn to a normal person. Indistinguishable from a normal. But they're cowardly. Is there something on 144? Or are you just giving me random page numbers? I swear if it's another dragon. A genie? This thing has a challenge rating of 11. It's 161 hit points and an armor class of 17. I feel like this might be a bit outside of folk hero story villain. Anyway, so let's go. Line him. Alright, I'm gonna go with the Jackalware, right? A petty... This seems like the perfect villain to be just like a petty, harmless thief that people think is terrifying. Because, I mean, this is like... Whenever they're in like the half jackal, half human form, they're just like this big, hairy monster that honestly like doesn't really want to fight because it just talks about how they're complete cowards. I mean, they're not very strong either. They also kidnap people. So we could have some disappearances. Alright, so disappearances. And stolen jewel or jewelry from the temple. Chris Riff gets mad, decides to go after whatever this thing is. She doesn't know at this point. You know, the whole town's riled about it. and she goes and she goes and she pulls out her what was her weapon again? Yeah, her mace, of course. She goes and she pulls out her mace and she's like ready to fight this thing. It's like middle of the night and there's just like this thing growling, and then suddenly this jackalope just like comes out like crying and apologizing and just like begging for mercy, like super scared, doesn't want to fight or anything like that. Um, and promises like that they'll let everyone go that captured them and that they'll leave and never return again. Um, and she just like okay, so if the town she knows like if anyone else from her village were there with her, they would have wanted her to kill it regardless, especially with it being such like a pathetic like creature with no honor whatsoever. Um, but she decides like she feels pity for it and decides to let it go, which makes her sound better than she really is in this case. But anyway, she lets them go, saves all the people that got kidnapped, goes back to the village, heralded as a hero, but always has this like nagging sense of guilt that she didn't really deserve it because it wasn't like a real thing. I mean, maybe even like the kidnappings were like not even a big deal. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. This seems like a good path to go down. Maybe like cut the kidnappings. Just return the jewel. No, keep going. Yeah, I think just cut the kidnappings and just keep the jewel. The kidnappings seem like too much. All right, I'm gonna actually get something down on paper or a screen rather. Um, now we gotta start with the nickname. Shit, bro. Uh. Eventually, I'll figure out how to spell her name reliably. Frith. Grew up in a somewhat remote, dragonborn, village where she worshipped, and I guess I should pick a. Hold on. Where's the list of deities? And I know that's like toward the back of the book. I might as well get that out of the way. Oh wait, I'm looking through the monster manual. What am I doing? I'm like, this does not look right. Player's handbook. Uh, da, da, da. Let's see. What, what domain were we going down again? I don't remember what it was called. Uh, light? Was it light? Trickery? Trickery. Where is that? Trickery, yeah. Okay. Gods of trickery such as Timora, Bashaba. Actually, I just realized for this for this backstory, this is kind of fitting, isn't it? Um, it is, it is. The Traveler? Bashaba, goddess of misfortune. Ooh, isn't that just appropriate? I feel like we should do like a good one though, because it's not like she's like secretly worshiping this. Timora, goddess of good fortune. Ah. Um. Timora's a good one. Yeah, I think I go with Timora. Okay, we'll do Timora. Timora. Did I spell that right? Yes, I did spell that right. What is it? Timora, goddess of good fortune, face up, coin is hers. Okay. Thank you, Player's Handbook. Probably don't need these dice anymore right now. I've just got so much crap on my desk. Tired of like looking down. I know like this stream has probably been like so much of just the top of my head as I'm looking down at stuff at my desk. Alright, we should worship Timora. And developed herself as a faithful cleric. One day an amulet of Timora that was a town treasure was stolen from the temple, and Chris Riff was tasked with seeking its return. Other dragonborn from the village had attempted already to return the amulet, but they always came back to the village with nothing more than terrifying stories of a horrible creature. Nothing more than terrifying stories of a horrible creature that a evil creature that they would encounter while they sought the amulet. The encounters always happened at night, and details were fuzzy, but rumors spread, and soon the entire town knew of this mysterious and I guess mysterious isn't the right word. Let's go deadly monster. When Chris Riff left to find the amulet, what she found contradicted the stories she had heard. Shoot, what was the name of that monster, the jackal thing again? I completely. I should have kept that. Jackalware. Yeah, thank you. I honestly could not find it. And it was like jackal something. A cowardly Jackalware had stolen the amulet, hoping to pawn it off in a nearby city. The amulet, however, had no actual value to most. So the Jackalware was unable to find a buyer. This is like completely unnecessary detail. I heard like a weird pop, I don't know what that was. Oh, I almost forgot to add Chris's left. Barefoot as ever. There we go. Gotta add in that very important detail. Can't forget. The Jackalware begged and pleaded Chris Riff for mercy and returned the amulet to her. Although she knew the village would not approve, she pitied the Jackalware and allowed for it to live. It ran away. It ran away crying, never to be seen near the village again. When Chris Riff returned, she was heralded as a hero, and rumors quickly spread of her epic battle to defeat the terrible monster that had defiled their sacred temple. Although Chris Riff would hold the guilt of her dishonest return for the rest of her life, she never told anyone in the village the truth of what actually happened when she found BMU. She also still never wears shoes. Amazing. That is another. Hold on. I think. Yeah, that's about the same. That one actually might be longer than the other one. Jesus, I really went all out. I really went all out for this backstory once again. I don't think this one is quite as interesting. Um, but I still think it's interesting and fun. Yeah, I guess that's about it. This has been like a lot of fun. I'm definitely not going to create another character after this. I think it's pretty solid. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is probably like to making these two characters has taken me a lot longer than I thought they would. But these backstories have been super fun to make. Yeah, I guess I should put I'll just put like Dragonborn Home Village as like an allied organization because that makes sense. Refuses to wear shoes at any cost, no matter what, even if the world is at stake. Also feels guilty for her undeserved fame. Bonds. Very strongly bonded with the feeling of being barefoot. Her entire personality is no shoes. Really exciting stuff, huh? Yeah. Welcome to the stream. We're currently at the part with the character. We have our cleric here, Fram Bran, Shitrith, Chris Rith, Shoeless Shiprith. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh man. Not to mention she's a cobbler. So she likes shoes. Out of control character creation. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Oh my god, that is so much fun. That is so much fun. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. Oh man. I did not even realize, man, how the time has flown by. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. Oh man. Yeah, how are you doing, Melojello? Ah man. I'm gonna fill in these I don't even remember what the saving throws. I just woke up from a 7-hour nap. I don't know if you can call that a nap at that point. Oh man. that's that's a bit much for a nap. Uh Anything less than 15 is a nap for me. That's insane. I need that kind of nap sometimes. Don't we all? Don't we all? Oh, what is this? Charisma. Zero. Mezzadin. Medicine. Solid +5 right there. Five, +1. Today, whatever it is. Well, for me, it's definitely night. Definitely nighttime. Uh, um, religion, intelligence, intelligence, so +2, zero, 0, +5. There we go. 10:30 p.m. Yeah, we must be on the same time zone then. EST. I like how the only thing I have in features and traits is you see, South Carolina, really? I go to college in North Carolina. All right. So, I think honestly, I think this has been a resounding success. I love these two characters very much, very much. Um, even if they're both dead, but that's okay. I love them anyway. Post mortem. Um, yeah, I think I think I am going to wrap up this very long stream. It has been a ton of fun though. Tango, thank you a lot. I really appreciate you coming in and just like we've been having fun. I really appreciate you coming in and us just like making this character for you together for the past 2 hours. It's crazy that you've been here for so long. So that means I'll definitely be back. I really appreciate it. For sure. I unfortunately I am a very busy college student, so I'm only able to stream once a week, and it's alternating Thursdays and Fridays. So next week it'll be on Thursday, week after it'll be on Friday, so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, if you ever want like, if you're interested, normally for these streams I try to actually play D&D with other people and like show off some cool stuff that I've made. I have a lot of really cool ideas. But we're currently in midterm season right now, so not a lot of people want to spend a bunch of hours playing D&D for a quick little one shot right now, as quick as like a 4 hour one shot can be. Um, anyway, if you're interested in like chatting some more, there's like links down below. You can join like a Discord server that I have. There's like a YouTube channel where I just upload like VODs. You obviously won't need to watch this one because you were here for most of it. And there's a Twitter too that I like post stream announcements on too. But if you ever want to play like D&D together, like Discord's the best way to reach me that way. Or if not, like at least I'll be posting like announcements and stuff in there, or we can just chat. But regardless, even if you don't want to like join that stuff, I still really appreciate you stopping by, and I would love to see you come back sometime. It has been nothing other than a pleasure. I'm in. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, Tango, you have a good night, and I will see you next week. Have a great night. I will. Thank you. You as well. Goodbye.